Hey guys, back again, and today I wanted to show you something I was doing earlier. I am in a Facebook group, and every once in a while they ask me to do a live video and just show what I'm working on. So very quickly, I put together this scrappy cover for a journal. That's the back, and that's the front. And I thought, everybody liked it so much. I thought I would come along and show you how I did it. It is very cheap and very easy. However, we first need our scripture card for the day. And our verse is going to be Psalm 111, verse 2. How amazing are the deeds of the Lord. Yes, that is true. So we're going to set this aside. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you is, in order to do this, you need fabric scraps. And I know that there were quite a few people after I did my live video showing how to make this. They sent me messages asking if I could put together a small scrap bag of fabric for them. And so I did make a few more, and I will show you that at the end of this video, and I'll let you know how much they are, and I'll put them in my Ko-fi site. Here is this. Now, if you notice, I have some wonky sewing on here, right? You do not have to sew this. I just did to add more fun dimension. That's the front, and again, that's the back. So let's get to it. I'm going to set this on the floor next to me because I'm running out of room. All right. Have you got a Dollar Tree next to you? I have a dollar store about 20 minutes from here, and I found this, fusible interfacing. And it has instructions on it, and there's quite a bit in here. So far I've made 3 journal covers with this, and I still have a lot left. So you will need some of this. So what I did was I cut a piece out, and I just took my standard printer paper that I had tea dyed. I just grabbed this and I laid it down, and I made sure I had some stuff on the edges because I'm not exactly sure how big I will want my cover. So I've already cut that. Now, when you open this package, you got to feel it, because one side is nice and soft, one side is not. It's rough, kind of slightly bumpy, and that is the side that we are going to put our fabric scraps on. Now, the other thing you're going to need is an iron, and I have this little tiny Cricut iron here. I'm going to turn it on high. Any iron will do. Turn it on high, no steam. And then I have a drawer that I put my fabric scraps in, all different sizes. The edging of stuff. Yeah, these are tiny scraps, typically. So what I did was I just pulled out a handful of things that are blues and whites, and I do have them sitting right over there. Just sitting out so I can kind of see what I've got, and I can grab them easily. So rough side up, and we're just going to start grabbing scraps and laying them down on here. I'm going to try not to think about this too much because I do want it to be random. And here's a little scrap. Oh, there's 2. Now, do you see how this one wants to stay folded? I will go ahead and iron that so it lays flat, because I don't want to fight anything. So let's just put that there. I have some jean material, keeping in mind that when you fold it, this is going to be the front of the journal, right? Okay. So we'll put that there. We've got a piece of this. I've got all kinds of stuff. I just need to start laying it down quickly or I'm going to think about it way too much. Now this one is kind of folded over as well, but I'm going to leave it because it is folded on both sides. Well, no, it is laying wonky. So we'll just give it a quick press. I have this weird little piece. Where'd it go? It's so little, it jumped out of my fingers. And I've got these. I'll lay that one up there. Put a white one over there. Let's put these out. I think we'll do a dark blue up here. One right in the center. And I've got these little guys. Now your scrap pack is going to have scraps that are way bigger than this because you might want to cut them down to specific sizes and shapes that you want. So I figured I better give you enough to have an option at least with that. Okay, so now here is where you have to get something. I'm getting an old pillowcase to lay over this. Here we are. Now hopefully nothing moved. Okay, here's where you need your iron. And you're gonna put it down. Do not rub it around. Put it down, and I think it says 10 to 15 seconds. It doesn't take that long. And it will smell a bit like laundry detergent when it warms up your pillowcase. Now, if you have an ironing board and a thin piece of fabric to place over it, that'll work as well. We just keep moving it around. See why a bigger iron would be better? I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to fast forward. Okay, we're going to remove the pillowcase and see if that worked. All right, so now all these pieces should be at some contact point stuck down. And they are, because they're not falling off. Now, you can come in with your Fabrifix and any little loose ends, you can just put a little on there and glue it down. Or if you have a sewing machine, take it to your sewing machine and just sew some wonky stitches in it. But this is where if you look at it and you decide you want to layer things, like let's say you've got a little something, just use some glue and plop it down. I do have a few pieces left here that we could do. Oh, look, this one says piece. Let's get that one down. I will take it to the sewing machine, so I'm not worried about completely getting it down. But if you are not doing any sewing, make sure you thoroughly cover your fabric pieces with glue. And then I've got some ribbon. We may as well get that stuck down. Where do we want that? How about down here? And then, is that all? Yeah, I think we'll call that good. And I will take the little bit that's left and put it back in my fabric drawer. So yeah, I would take this next to the sewing machine and just sew around it. And I will show you some of the items in the fabric packs. Again, keeping in mind they will all be a little bit different. And I will be filling a Ziploc bag. We've got quite a big piece of white. And then they're white on the back. You could cut them apart, and that is a lace over top. And there's 2 of those. And then we've got a bigger piece of lace here. Let's move that out of the way. I suppose it might have been actually easier to see with the white beneath it. So we have a big piece of fun lace. We've got brown. We'll put those scrap packs on my Ko-fi site, but if you want a little scrap pack with specific colors, go ahead and email me and we'll see what we can come up with. Now, you see this manila envelope here? It is a pretty big one, and that is what I probably would use as my cover. So I could sew that on there, or I could just glue this on here. And then we would just basically fold it, and there would be our cover. Of course, because I'm going to sew it, I did not glue all these little edges down. But I will tell you what, doing it this way is way faster than it is just to glue each little piece down. Okay, I went ahead and took it to my sewing machine and I sewed some wonky stitches. So that is how wonky, okay? Definite wonkiness. And what it will happen is it will go like that, and that will be the journal cover. So there's room for what, 3, 4, 5 signatures, depending on how thick your signatures are. And that, to me, was quick and easy and fun. Now, I do see a couple little pieces that I'm going to glue down. Now, you could add laces to this, trims, anything you wanted. On the inside, just put a piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, cut it down and glue it over. Or you could do a whole nother scrappy cover just like this. And then when you have the 2 of these, you just glue the 2 paper wonky sewing sides together. Or you could take 1 piece of fabric and do it in the same fabric. Let me see what I've got here in blue. I have this, and then that, not the dark blue. Let me see here. I'm not really sure what I want to put on the inside. I might have to think about that. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that. But I will definitely be putting something on the inside of this cover, and then I will reinforce all these little things that are sticking up with some Fabri-Tac, and then I'm going to go ahead and list this in my Ko-fi in case somebody wants to purchase it. Okay, stop. Interruption. Okay, so the video was done. Luckily, I hadn't edited it or uploaded it yet because we went out to dinner, right? And while we were there, I ate too much. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to go home and put elastic pants on. My jeans are too tight. And then I started thinking, I actually have a few pair of jeans I should just get rid of. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking, oh, I should get rid of some other things. And then oh, that's it. I have a pair of jeans that would work perfect for this. So I came home and I immediately got my overalls out of the closet that are too small, and I pulled the drawstring out, and that is the tie. And then and then I cut the pocket off and some of the other stuff because we now have a tie closure, and dun dun dun, we have the beginnings of it inside. Look, total pocket. So I'm going to leave it like this for anybody who wants to purchase this, because who knows, you might want to cut the pocket bigger, cut it across. You might want to put lace on it, or maybe around the edges. I don't know. But this layer here, obviously the pocket opens, but this layer here I put on with Fabrifix instead of sewing it, just because I liked the look better. But yeah. So does anybody else do that when you're, you know, totally supposed to be focused on something else? Something pops into your mind and you're like, that's all you can think about. You have to go home and you have to do this. That was me tonight. I feel like a dork, but it is what it is. And now I just have to get a few of these loose ends down. But yeah, I thought I would interrupt this video and show you this. And then if it sits there too long for sale, then what I will do is I'll pull it and I will actually add signatures to it and begin decorating it. So that is our Scrappy Journal cover. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. They're so much fun to make. Have a great afternoon, you guys, and I will see you again very, very soon.